Okay, now let's hope this mic works. Actually, it almost looks like it's working better. Oh boy. Okay. So, got to wait for some people to show up here. Oh boy, technical difficulties. Hopefully I haven't lost all my audience. Looks like the microphone's working a bit better. I can see it's moving up on the little green light bars down below. So what I did is this PC, it's got USB ports and the front of it is shaped like this, right? At an angle. And one day in the old store, I accidentally spilt a bit of Pepsi on top of all those USB ports up top. So every now and again, this thing will start going blub, 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 like, help me, the USB ports are messed up. I think that's what happened. Hey, True North is here. All right. How you doing? Okay, so now that this seems to be working better, fingers, eyes, ears, and noses crossed. How are you going to cross your nose? Okay, anyway, let's get back to 1957, which is what I wanted to do this whole time. There's our 57 Corvette. Okay, microphone, don't fail me. I'm keeping my eye on you. This, of course, is the Monogram model kit. I've now got 3 videos showing this at the very end of each one. Okay, so what we have here, under the hood, there's our fuel injection system. This one started in 57 and went up to about 1963. This was the mechanical fuel injection system and probably one of the first ones on a regular production American car, as far as regular production on Corvettes are concerned, I guess. Again, a very nice model kit, easy to build. I did paint white under here, but it does look kind of reddy pink. But anyway, that is the 57 Corvette. And then AMT had these offerings. I do believe they're MPC as well. This is the one with the flip nose, the dragster style. I did add in some extra wheels, I think. Can't remember what was in the kit originally. I've got 2 of these, so I want to make them different. Again, there's our Corvette motor with the little velocity stacks with little balls stuck in the top. This kit's quite interesting, but it can be a bit of a challenge to work with. The front wheels are posable. The hood does have some sort of issues getting back in alignment. I think you gotta wiggle it a little bit. I don't want to bust the thing. There's our steering wheel, very generic looking. And then underneath, that's my chassis and frame, all the suspension components for it. Yeah, that's right, True North. This thing can be a bit of a pain. And here's the other one that I built. Of course, I used red on the inserts. And again, the hood seems to be kind of warped on this thing. I don't know. This one, of course, I used the blower motor on. Okay. Boy, she doesn't want to open today. There it is. Check that out. Kind of a crazy setup. Look at how far out those exhaust pipes go. Again, very interesting car. It's got that front posable wheel. Or the steering, I mean. Got the nice gauges up underneath that dashboard. This camera is filming everything in reverse to me. All these look like English cars with a right-hand drive. Look at those wheels on there. That's pretty big, thick meats going on. Again, very nice models, but they've got their issues. So let's move into some Fords here. So there we've got our 57 Thunderbird, painted in a nice trim-clad green for all you Canadians. Okay, yeah, I guess so, number 1. Something I'm not going to say. Anyway, this one is interesting. The interior bucket is all molded as one piece, and the dashboard has the door panels in it. as a big horseshoe. So you just hook that all in as one unit. This model kit was one of those Styline 3-in-1 kits from AMT back in the day. And it seems like every time they reissue it, more of the Styline parts just disappear to history. I don't know quite what's going on with that. There's that Thunderbird engine in there. Again, very nicely done. This one has the promo style undercarriage. You can see the wheel backs have a bit of the axles in them as well, sort of deal. Again, this is a one-piece undercarriage, and the engine pops in. And I do believe just the headers match up to the bottom of the molded-in exhaust manifolds. Kind of a smart way to do it. Just grabbed the hood. That fell on the ground. This was painted with trim-clad enamels, and the interior was painted with the lacquer color. You can use lacquer on the interior because if it melts it a little bit, it'll give that pebble effect, just like upholstery, like a nugget hide. Nugget hide? How many nuggas had to die for this upholstery? So one of the jokes in a Garfield comic, I think, a very long time ago. Then we've got our AMT 57 Ford. Looks like the microphone is working fine now. I guess it was just a pretty bum USB port. What happens when I spill Coca-Cola on my stupid computer top? So at any rate, there it is. I used the headlights in reverse just to give them the cover there. There's another blower. I do believe this came out of a Monogram kit. Another one that I built when I was a kid. Had to cut the big hole in the hood, of course. But there she is, the battery and all the wiring terminals and stuff going together. And then this one has the opening doors, which the hinge is busted off. The seats in here were from the 32 Ford Victoria. And then that center console, that's another one of those Styline parts that disappeared into history. But in the earlier 57 Ford kits, you got that nice upholstery in there. And I do believe that disappeared in the 90s when they went and put in that modern for the 90s sort of interior in there, sort of based on Boyd Coddington's work, I guess. Then again, there's the undercarriage. Notice the exhaust manifolds when molded in place. Or not the manifolds, the mufflers and all that, molded into place and painted flat black so that they don't look like they're in there. Although I do have the little dual exhaust pipes sticking out the back. Those are actually the velocity stacks from the 57 Chevy. I'm glad everybody's coming back on here. Some weird technical difficulty. The USB plug for the microphone actually, or the camera, walked out of the top of my computer on its own. So that's why the camera went out, and then the microphone went out because years ago I spilled some Coke onto the top of the USB ports. I got it all out, but every now and again it will mess up one of them, and unfortunately the microphone was plugged into a messed up port. Go figure. Okay, so that's our 57 Ford, and now we'll get into Chevrolet. But before we do, again, of course, I've got monster-hobbies.ca, our online web store, and I do have this really crazy 57 Chevy funny car from Revell. Oh, incoming call from my wife. I'll have to phone her back once we get through all this. Actually, hang on. Hi. Oh, the machine got it. I waited too long. Okay, well, she will soon be phoning on the regular phone. Okay, so she's probably phoning to buy this model right now. What would you use to build your logo? A Cobra kit or one of the vets you've shown? Frankenstein. The car that my Frankenstein logo guy is driving is supposed to be an AC Cobra. So maybe one of those, but panel vans seem to be what works. Anyway, getting back to this, you can find it at www.monster-hobbies.ca. And all our prices there are in Canadian dollars. So if it looks too expensive, it isn't in American because of the exchange rate. We can ship worldwide. We accept MasterCard or credit cards, except for American Express. as well as PayPal. So both of those are an option. We ship with Canada Post. You get free shipping in Canada if you order stuff over $75. None of your information is recorded on our website or anything like that. Uh, Once you do a credit card purchase, all that disappears once it gets processed. And I don't know what else I can tell you. Okay, so getting into 57 Chevys. I'm going to start with this one. I showed this last week in our Black Cars Look Better in the Shade video. This is the 1957 Chevy, the Revell Snap Together kit, Snap Type Plus or whatever. As you can see, it comes out really nice. Again, I did paint this one with trim-clad flat black. Look at the nice side spear. Chevy had aluminum inside here, and then the outside was chrome. Of course, underneath, very simplistic, painted on the exhaust pipes. This one screws in at the front here and in the center in the back. Very nice one to build with kids, because again, everything fits together nicely and it looks nice. All the detail on here, the whole shebang. There it is in the back. I used some gold bare metal foil, which is also available on our website there. And turns out nice, rolls nice. Metal axles in here, thicker ones than your usual AMT kit. Again, very nicely done. I liked it so much, I got another one, painted it blue, and chopped the roof off on this thing. And again, now when you cut these roofs, you can't cut straight across from the back edge of the windows. You actually have to cut up inside right around the trim. That's how they are properly. And then these sun visors, they were from sheet styrene. And I just kind of cut them out and made them up. Again, you can see the nice white and blue interior upholstery that I did. That, I believe, is paintbrush. Some kind of tester's color I had, I think. But again, very nice to work with these. I tried to make one of these a 4-door, and that ended up as a nightmare because there's actually an extra little couple of inches in the real car in here to stretch this back so that your rear door doesn't look like some little teeny thing that not even a kid could squeeze into. Oh, and then this is, again, a piece of styrene. And then I covered it with masking tape, and I painted it so you got that that kind of upholstery pattern look to the thing. Again, nice. There's no motor in this. Of course, no opening hood. Snap tight fast kit. Ends up pretty good. But if you do want to really go crazy, like I did, this is the AMT 57 Chevy. Now you'll notice this is a little bit different. This one I converted up and made it into the Del Rey, which was an in-between car. The model just before the Bel Air, but just above the Chevy 210. So this is a Chevy 210 Del Rey. And this one I actually won. This is in a model car contest. I entered this in 2 model car contests. This is the only model I've ever done that got gold, the big trophy, in 2 different model car contests. So what did I do with this thing? Well, first off, I recut that bar in the front on the chrome because this front end is molded as one piece, and I glued it to the underneath of the hood, just like the real car. And then I carefully painted in the Chevy logo, like perfectly. The license plate is from Denmark. I visited there. I had a girlfriend there at one point in my life. And I went to a hobby shop, and they had a sheet of license plates all in Danish with the Danish numbers and all that stuff. And sadly, that got lost in the High River flood. But I did have enough for some kits. So I put in flat evergreen styrene glass in the side windows. This one's half rolled down. This one has got this one rolled down. I removed all the Bel Air logos off of here. I got the fuel injection logo from this kit, the Snapfast Plus. That was part of the sticker sheet. And I used the fuel injection logo on there. And I used the Chevrolet script back here because the Del Rey did not have the Bel Air side insert, the ribbed side insert. It was smooth in there and painted to match the roof color. And the old AMT kit actually doesn't have that in. It was a decal, and the decal has the ribs in it, and you sink the decal in. So this one you can build as the 210 just by putting the paint in. Another thing I did was I took the seat pattern, and I don't know if you can see this too well. There we go. You'll notice that it goes all the way across on the bench seat, whereas on the Bel Air, my finger in the way, bear with me. The Bel Air it's like the seat is one color, and then these things come over the top as a second color, and they're separated. But on the Del Rey, it goes right across. So I redid the upholstery to match that. Oh man, I should have just shown you this. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I took and I sanded out this upholstery pattern on both of the seats on the Del Rey, and then I used evergreen strip, and I went right across, like from there, and then painted that inner color. Okay. And again, you can't really, maybe you can see it, but yeah, it goes straight across on both the seats. I got really good at using that number 16 hobby blade. Under the hood, we've got the fuel injection. That was part of that Del Rey top package, just before your Bel Air. So again, quite the fast car. And the hubcaps, I took the 57 Chevy hubcap, and I cut the edge off it just to make the dog dish hubcaps, which is what this would have really had. And then up underneath, you got the dual exhausts in there. So this would be quite the mean machine to go up against. Glad so many of you have come back from the other disastrous video. What happened is my microphone or my camera, one of the two, actually crawled up out of the USB port. I've never experienced that in all my computing life, that a USB cable would actually crawl out of the port. And then the other port that the camera was plugged in or whatever, or the microphone was plugged in, years ago I spilled a Pepsi on that, and it kind of works every now and again, and I guess that was one time it didn't want to work, so it blew up on me. Okay, next up in 57. Oh, I got this Mercedes here. This again is another one of those really quick, easy kits. I can't remember where it came from. I know there's a weird company out there. I've got Triumph or something that's also made from this company. The hood doesn't open. It's just a nice big yellow Mercedes. I do believe this is 57. Sort of like the sister car to the Gullwing Mercedes. Although the Gullwing has the roof and then the doors open up like that, of course, right? Underneath, very simple, just basically pops together. Nice little model just to add a spot on your shelf. Again, the nice detailed interior in there. Black leather. No white walls. But then that brings us to Chrysler with the forward look. Again, this kit was really nice. This is AMT at their prime in the late 90s. And this kit is lacquer. It's been polished with the LGM polishing rags. Built this right around, I guess, 2002, maybe. I think that's when it came out. And I entered this in the model car contest up in Calgary. Actually, it was the IPMS, I think. At any rate, so I entered this car in. And as you see, I've got like the details painted here and everything like that. And actually under the hood here is really nice on this kit. And round two has re-released this thing if you want one. I need to bring some in stock, I think. There it is underneath. This is all lacquer painted in here. Well, with some exceptions. Yeah, that upholstery. And oh, I just found the side mirror that broke off. It's sitting in the car. So remind me not to flip this upside down too much. Anyway, so this model came out. And I entered it in this model contest. And I built this in Alberta. And there's a guy that came in from Saskatchewan to enter this model contest. Built the same kit. Painted his with that funny salmon pink color. And the judges sat there for 2 hours or maybe not that long, but at least an hour, trying to figure out which one was built better, mine or his. And they were both to the same quality. It looked like one person built both models. I came in second. And the reason I came in second is because on the steering wheel, this is how tight this contest ended up. On the steering wheel, there is a circle with the Chrysler red, yellow, and blue on it. And I did not paint mine in, and he did. And he won because he painted his steering wheel. That's how tight that contest was. Anywhere else, it looked exactly like one guy built both cars. So another thing I never experienced, but boy, that was a thrill. Nail biter. Who's going to win that? So he won it because he painted the little thing in the steering wheel. Okay, now that brings us to 1958. And here we got the 58 Corvette. This again is the Revell kit. This one is really nice. This has posable front wheels. It's got the opening hood and trunk. Again, we see our fuel-injected motor inside there, and the trunk lid hinges up as well. Now, there was a little cardboard box that you can make out of the instruction sheet. And unfortunately, that went underwater in the High River flood. Pardon me. The hood on 57 had that washboard effect in there with the louvers. And then on the back, it had the chrome strips. Again, very nice model by Revell. And I do believe you can still pick this thing up. I'm not too sure. Oh, and then the side coves in here, it's got a little piece that glues over top. So that's a little bit different than the other models where it's all molded as one piece. So there's that one. Another car I got for 58 out of my collection is this London Taxi. This was made by Revell way back in the day. Again, has steerable wheels. These ones have that click lock thing, so I don't really want to force them. And then underneath the hood, you've got, you can't really see too well, but there's the Austin engine under there, the big radiator. I do believe that Queen Victoria really loved these taxis and gave them a special award, and they became like the Queen's special taxi thing, although I think she had like a stretch limo version of this. But yeah, she really loved that. Queen Elizabeth II. It's amazing that she's still kicking. Okay. Okay. Now, next up, I had to rebuild this car for the show. Oops, there's the phone. Payment company wants me to switch my credit card provider. I've had enough of that. Okay, just a minute here. All right. There it is. Okay, so this is the Elvira 58 Thunderbird, and I built this when it came out. This would be 1989. And unfortunately, I wish I could take this all apart and rework it because it's to my quality in 1989. So I think I'm about 13 or 14 at the time. The removable top. I had to, this was wearing a fur sweater, so I had to get rid of all that dust on there. And I polished it. And what I've been using to really get a shine out of these are these microfiber rags that you use to clean your glasses. I mean, look at on the hood there. You wouldn't believe that that had caked on dust from 1989 on there, I guess. Probably why my nose is getting stuffy now. There's that Thunderbird motor in there. There's my first attempts at leopard skin, which, yeah, are quite different from this attempt on the 53 Ford pickup truck I showed in the other video before all the fireworks happened. But at any rate, this one has the opening doors. There we go. It doesn't have the steering wheels, but it does have Elvira's special satanic steering wheel in there with the chains. She said that this car was kind of scary to drive because there were so many little spiky things sticking up inside the interior that she thought if she got in a head-on collision, it would be quite messy. But at any rate, there it is. Another great model kit. This one actually started off as a stock 58 T-Bird, and my dad has that one in his collection. And then they kind of Elvira'd it back up again. I actually busted off the hood emblem on here, and I had to re-glue it. But this time around, I scraped the chrome off. Always scrape that chrome off on your contact surfaces. That brings us to my last kit to show on this show, which is a resin 58 Pontiac. And I always love this big rocket up the side. I think Oldsmobile should have really got that. This is based off of a resin model kit. Or it is a resin model kit based off of a plastic promo kit from AMT is what I'm trying to say. Again, whoever repopped this did a nice job on it. I used the Buick wire wheels from the Riviera, the 65. And then there's the back end. And I like all these little indents and ribs going up the trunk lid. That always looks nice. Can you believe I dusted this thing last week? And now it's just got that minute dust particles on it. So I'll use my little rag for glasses. No, that makes it look a lot better. Almost looks like I waxed it, but I didn't. But anyway, microfiber. That's what you want. So yeah, there it is there. Now, unfortunately, I only have one kit that I built from 1959, and that is the Chevy El Camino from AMT. But I built it to be part of a shadow box thing I was making back in high school. And, well, it's sitting up there, and I'm not going to go grab it. Sorry. Anyway, it's not very special. It's kind of a mess. So that is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. That is my collection of 1950s cars. I know this was supposed to be one live stream, but it ended up almost being three. So if you're interested in buying some model kits, of course, check us out, Monster Hobbies. This address is now gone. We're Monster Hobbies online, www.monster-hobbies.ca. We accept credit cards and PayPal. We have a secure pay system, so none of your information is getting lost or anything. If you type in the code word YouTube, you will get a discount at the shopping cart. So these models we have for sale currently, 57 Ford Del Rio wagon, 2-in-1. This one is cool. You can build it as a police car or just a regular family wagon. We've got the 57 Chevy Funny Car. This is, of course, the Mongoose version. So that one's always cool. Check that out right now. Oh, I'll put the link here in the chat box. Okay. www.monster-hobbies.ca. Okay, carrying on, we also have the Jukebox 55 Ford. This is a modified stalker, or what do they call it on the side here? Pro modified. You get that big Ford 429 monster motor in here. So that's always a fun kit to build. Then we've got our 54 Hudsons from Mobius. Another good one. As you know, Mobius will have full color instructions in there. This one is sort of like Doc Hudson, but they gave it 54 style upgrade panels. Got the little tiny taillights in the back like the 54 Fords at the time. Another beautiful kit available now. Then we've got our Hudson Hornet Club Coupe. Again, another nice model kit. Hudson trying to upgrade the roof here a little bit to match some of the other cars of the era. Very nice. It's got the twin H power under that hood. And then, of course, there's a black car there with those nice wire wheels on there. So another great one to pick up. And last but not least, we have a very old drag kit. The Revell Funny Car, the Miss Deal. This one is meant to have a fiberglass body on there. So the body on it is molded as one piece. It's a funny car, so the whole body opens to reveal inside, sort of like a rail dragster kind of deal. Very cool kit. So once again, check it all out, www.monster-hobbies.ca. Sorry about the mic and everything blowing up. But basically, until next time, remember, on Saturday, we will be doing carrying on in our model kit build. So I invite everybody that's watching this to come out and check that out. Everybody that'll see this video in the future here too. And then, yeah, so that one will be quite nice. I'm working on the 77 AMT Ford van. There will be an unboxing of that on Friday. And I made that unboxing when I still had the hobby shop. I made it last year. So that is going to be the last official video that you're going to see where it's actually in my old hobby shop. Now, any videos from here on out are, of course, in my basement for Monster Hobbies Online. So again, very nice things. So until next time, everybody, my Monster Hobbies mechanics, we'll see you on Saturday for the build, and have fun with your own models.